Hello, 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 hello. I am trying to look into cameras, so I'm looking at one and then looking at my phone. So yeah. Uh-oh. I should have did that. So I am going to let it load. Oh man. I'm not sure what's going on with my internet. Seriously. YouTube just doing me dirty today. But it's all good. Let's see. All right, I am going to start answering questions and just talking more about the PPP loan and how a lot of people filed, talking about the documents, how to retrieve your documents. A lot of people I know that filed were not able to get their documents. So I'll talk about that. I'll talk about the BOIR filing, as well as really I'm answering a lot of questions about the PPP because I know a lot of people really want to know about this. So that's really kind of my main thing that I'll be talking about. Then I'll be talking about someone asked me about some classes that I was doing. I'll talk about that. And just pretty much talking about any and everything. So if you are joining, again, I'm talking about the PPP loan. I'm talking about how you have to retrieve or how you can retrieve your documents. I know a lot of people who applied for the loan, applied under their social security number. A lot of people applied, don't even know it. I just seen a lot. I saw a lot, and I know that a lot of people are afraid right now of what's going on. So they're kind of trying to figure. I can help you. I can try and answer it to see if you are. If not, you can just message me and then we can just kind of talk and I figure it out. But for the most part, just my intro. Of course, I'm Sheridan. I'm here. I'm Tech Savvy Pro. I've been doing business for like the last 16 years. I've been doing business development. And when the PPP loan came out, of course, I was involved, but I actually did mine legitimately, and I was able to get it. I was able to pay myself. I was able to pay my son. So I actually did mine through a payroll processing to where I paid taxes on the loan. So a lot of people didn't pay taxes on that loan. If you received that loan and you did not pay taxes on it, it is on a IRS transcript. So we're gonna talk about that. That if it's on your IRS transcript, then that means you still did not pay taxes on that money. And a lot of people were asking, was I supposed to? Yes, it was meant for payroll. So if you got that loan and you did not utilize it the way you were supposed to, okay, we'll talk about that. Um, I guess I want to start by the fact that there were a lot of people that was applying for this loan, and they were telling people that they can get them the money and that they could pay them five, six, $7,000 of a $20,000 loan. We can't go back and change the past, but if you did that, just know that was very foolish. That money was tax deductible. It was tax deductible. You were supposed to pay taxes on that money. You were supposed to put that money through a payroll processing. If you didn't do it through payroll processing, you were supposed to at least have some type of financial statement or some type of document to show and prove that you received funds. Um, for those individuals who were filing, they were filing these loans up under people's social security numbers. Let me see if I can turn my music down. I don't want the music to be so loud today. They were filing these loans under people's social security number. So here's the issue with filing under your social security number. If you are a, let's say, a DBA, if you are a DBA, which would be doing business as, and if you are a sole proprietor, then of course you may use something. If you were getting a 1099 because you were doing contract work, then you can utilize your social security number. You can, because that means, hey, you're an independent contractor, you are someone who doesn't have an EIN, you're not a fully established business. So that means you are a sole proprietor. Then that is what was stated on that Schedule C. I wish I had, let me pull up the Schedule C. It was stated on the Schedule C that you were a sole proprietor. Now, if you were a sole proprietor, then you were saying that you had a certain type of business. With that certain type of business, that individual that filed that paperwork for you put your social versus an EIN of it, your social. They put that social on that document. Uh, and you become liable based off of you being an entity. So the difference between a sole proprietor and an LLC, a sole proprietor is you. You are using your personal information and putting your social security number as a liability on a tax document. Or if you are a contractor, you are putting your social as a liability. Now, if you get an LLC is its own entity. And because it's its own entity, that cannot affect you. A lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to do a business as, or I'm a sole proprietor. Get an LLC. So because they put your social security number on that Schedule C, that created a liability for you personally. Versus if you had an and an LLC, that created a liability for that LLC. So when they completed that document, if you did not have EIN, which is a tax identification number or an employer identification number, that is given to you through the IRS. You can apply for it on the IRS.gov. If you don't know how to do it, it's simple. If not, you could just schedule something with me. I can walk you through it. It's very easy. You do still have to put your social in, but it doesn't link it to it. I'll explain it. But because they put that on there, which is your social, that means you personally became liable for it on that Schedule C. Now that person went on ahead, put your social on there, then you went and filed a 1040, which is a personal tax return. Because you filed that personal tax return and said, I made XYZ in this filing year. You then said, this is the only income I have, not paying attention to You applied for that loan under a Schedule C with your same social. Y'all get where I'm going with it? So because you apply for it, when you file a Schedule C, sometimes if you have an LLC, you can't file S corp because you paid yourself and the whole nine. We'll go into that. But if you did not do that and you solely did sole proprietor, which you put your social security number, you have a social security on a Schedule C and you have a social security on a 1040. Those numbers do not match. And I know the numbers that you were supposed to put on that document in order for you to get $20,000. So if you had this certain amount on that document and you did not have the same amount or at least experience on your personal 1040, that's a conflict of interest. So now it's not balancing out. Let alone you did not pay any taxes on that money. Y'all get where I'm going? Okay. So because you didn't pay taxes, yes, it may have been forgiven. However, now what we're going into the BOIR, which is coming January 1st, 2025. And these individuals are now saying with the finance network, crime force network, then saying, we want to see that business registered. You said you had it, we want to see it. So now your social is on that document, which saying you had made around $80,000 to $90,000, and you didn't take out any expenses, and you did not file taxes on it on that Schedule C or your 1040. So now you held liable. A lot of people that are afraid because of this list. This list is not necessarily saying they're coming to get you. It is stating you applied for it, and now you're liable for it. That's what it's stating. My original video was honestly an afterthought of I had been working with a client and they said something about the BOI, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then they asked, why are they making us do this right now? And I'm like, well, they're doing it because those individuals who applied for this loan, this. And I made the video and it just took off like wildfire. And I'm like, oh, snap. I don't want y'all to get afraid, but you better have your ducks in a row. So I'm going to pull up let's see. I don't really be knowing how to work my tablet. I got more technology than I'm smart to use. Let's see. So if you have questions, you can ask, and I'll try and respond and answer them for you. So here's what I'm gonna read to you about Schedule C Form 1040: profit or loss from business, sole proprietorship. You are to report income or loss from a business you operated or a profession you practice as a sole proprietor. And any activity qualifies as a business, your profit and loss. So when you fill out this Schedule C, you told these people that you had this certain amount of money. And because you told them that you had this certain amount of money, you did not use it or put it on your personal 1040. So if you said you paid $80,000 to $90,000, and then you turned around and only made $50,000 to $60,000 with your personal income, and no write-offs, no deductions, you can't even show what you utilized that funds for, nor did you pay taxes on that money. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. The math ain't math. The math just ain't mathing. And you got a lot of people who so when they filled out that document for you, I know y'all might not be able to see it. This is how this document looks. You see it says profit or loss from business, and it says Schedule C, sole proprietor. That's the document that was filled out. Yeah. Now, for those of you who have been messaging me and telling me that somebody filled it out for you, and when they filled it out for you, you did not see the document. You weren't able to get it. Here's the reason why. Most times you were not able to get it because the information was falsified. Now, if you did it legitimately and you actually had a business, you might have skipped out on not paying the taxes on it. Still might be fine. It just depends how they are processing and how they are going through and going about it. So when you got that document, well, you didn't get it. When you got the money was either deposited on a card and it was either deposited into your bank account. I know a lot of people bank accounts were getting locked up because a lot of the banks started saying, "Show me the business," and a lot of people couldn't provide documentation to show the business. A lot of people weren't able to get the money. Some people were getting caught up with wire fraud, the whole nine. Now, had the individual given you that document, then they would have showed the profit and loss, which was astronomical numbers on this document, in order for you to get that $20,000. So, of course, they couldn't give you the document. Now, for those of you who want to retrieve the documents, it is now with the IRS, and the IRS has transcripts. So there's a transcript system that we can go into, and we can pull. I can pull a transcript all the way from, like I said, 1999 if I wanted to. I can see if you had any civil judgments against you. I can see if your identity has been stolen. I can see everything. And that's another thing that I would talk about. Maybe last year, that was running rampant with stealing people tax returns and information. So learning how to protect your tax returns and protect yourself, because a lot of people got their information stolen. A lot of people got their tax returns stolen. I'm not laughing at them. I'm laughing because I was seeing it. But going back to how you can retrieve it from the IRS, there is a transcript service that if you have a PTN number, you can go in and you can get it, and we can pull all of this, or your ERO number. I can't never say that right. So we can go back and we can pull it. Now, somebody asks, will that trigger the IRS? No, it won't trigger the IRS. It's not going to trigger them. Only thing that's going to trigger the IRS is if I complete the document and I send it back to the IRS. That's the only thing that's going to trigger the IRS. It's not like they sit there and they're going to be like, oh, they did it. Now I'm going to get them. So, nah, y'all are good. But here's the thing. So you go and you pull that transcript, you would have to pull the business transcript. It's not on your personal. That I know. No, it's not on your personal. What is on your personal is the stimulus. So if you receive that $1,200, that is on your personal. I see that on transcripts every day. Now that if you did say you did you didn't get that, yeah, that's another situation. But you can retrieve it off of a transcript request. So I can go in and I can actually pull your transcript. It will not look like this same document, but it's the same information that was recorded. So a lot of people thinking I got away with it because it was forgiven. Some people didn't even get this forgiven. Some people didn't even know where to go to get it forgiven. Yeah, ain't nothing free. Ain't nothing getting away with. Everything is black and white dealing with the things. Everything is documented. You have to know how to dot your T's and cross your I's because it's all documented. So because you apply for that, because you put that Schedule C on it, it's on IRS transfer. It's under the business, which would be if you were sole proprietor, it's under your social. Or if you had an actual EIN, it's under your EIN. It just depends on what you put it on. Now, once you retrieve it, it's up to you on what you decide to do with it. If you want to go back and get it and say, you know what, let me go back and file this so I can say that I filed taxes on it, just to make it clear. If anything come about, let me, what y'all call it, CYA, yeah. So I will be good. That you can do. What you do to balance that out, you go file an amendment. So if you are to file an amendment, that is a 1040X. Filing an amendment will allow you to go back and balance that out. Basically stating, hey, okay, I got this amount, it wasn't taxed, we need to utilize it, and I am now needing to pay taxes, or I just need to make sure I can put my expenses, my write-offs, my deductions, whatever you want to call it, and then you turn it back in. Now, I'm not telling you that you actually have to go and do this. I'm just telling you if you want to see why. Just know it, right? Okay. Um, you gotta have questions because I see you. And y'all more than welcome to ask me because I have a lot of stuff, but I want to know if y'all have questions and if there's anything in specifics to what y'all are wanting me to talk about. Mm, Okay, I think we were. I said something about retrieving the document. You don't necessarily have to contact that person who filed it for you. You can actually, I mean, you can and see, but I doubt if they have it. I doubt if they still have that document. So that's gonna be up to y'all to be able to go and fish for it and see if you can get that document. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm supposed to be doing two different, and I'm just looking here down at my phone. I should have put my other camera up there, but it's fine. I'm live on two different things. So ask me what y'all have about the loan. And if you want to ask me privately, then ask me privately. That's cool too. Um, if not, I want to tell you about the BOIR and how it is in relations to the PPP loan. Because a lot of people are afraid and intimidated about it, and you don't have to be. It's not. It's just like basically it's what it is. Um, I'm gonna read this to you. So basically, the BOI is the beneficial ownership information report, which is under the Corporate Transparency Act, and it requires certain types of U.S. and foreign entities to report this information to the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. FinCEN, financial crimes. Y'all get it? Financial crimes. I'm joking. But no, I'm serious. So you got to look at it. If this is based off of the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, this is where you are filing this document. I can sell it, I can upsell this to y'all, of course. If you want me to do it for you, just message me. I can sell it. I can, hey, I got you. If not, this is where it's located. Now, here's the thing about this document. They want you to upload your driver's license. And the reason why they want you to upload your driver's license is because, okay, Nancy, you said that you was a cleaner back in 2020, 2021, and you filed for this PPP loan. So because you said you was a house cleaner, you filed this social Schedule C under your social security number, and you said you was making between $80,000 to $90,000, and this was a legitimate business. Okay, go ahead and upload your information and let's see. how, legitimate. Again, this is under the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. Thing saying this is like, yeah, this fake. So the relation of the PPP loan and the BOIR is due to the fraudulent activity, financial activities of the PPP loan. You got up until January the 1st of 2025 to file this document. And in order for you to be able to file this document, you have to upload your driver's license because they want to actually see who you are. If you were actually legitimate, now you got to think about this as well. If they are requiring you to file this under this filing system, and as well as putting your information, your personal information in, if you have filed a business through your Secretary of State, and if they are going to send a fine letter to your wherever you have that business supposedly registered for $500 per day, then that means they know if their business is actually legitimate or not. They just want to see if you're gonna register it in order for you to verify that it is actually a legitimate business. So now moving into if you want to go to the Secretary of State, if you actually have an EIN number or a what is it called? Taxpayer identification number. You actually have those numbers, then you should already be registered with the Secretary of State. If you are registered with your state, then here's how you go. And if you do not, you saying, hey, Sheridan, I got a business, but it's inactive. I have used it. I filed it with the state in 2014. At first I was making money on it, but then now it's just sitting. And I don't want to get rid of it. I want to keep it because I want to just kind of let it grow. And whatever, sometimes you can use them as shell companies. A lot of times, if you have tenure on your business, you are able to use it as a shell company. A lot of times, those businesses have grown credit value. So you have creditworthiness on your business, and you are able to utilize it. And what you need to do, though, you need to create it to be inactive. So going to the Secretary of State and actually putting it in inactive status, as well as, I don't know, in Texas it's called the comptroller. So it may be the comptroller where you are or wherever your taxing board or taxing entity in your state, and you let them know that it is inactive and it is zero. Sometimes they send out a document and they'll ask it maybe quarterly or annually, hey, have you filed, has this business generated any revenue? You always file zero if you know you haven't, and you can state that it's inactive. Now, creating it inactive, you still will have to file this, but it won't penalize you. Now, if you don't go and file this and they pull this, then you are going to be fined $500 per day and potentially face up to 2 years in jail. I wouldn't be playing with them people. Y'all don't play with their funds, don't play with the fees. Just saying, go file your business. Now, I don't want the business. I don't want the business. I want to get it off of me. I don't want to sit there. I don't want nobody sending me nothing. I'm paranoid. Secretary of State, wherever your state is, and go and file a dissolution of organization. If you file a dissolution of organization, you are able to clear this business off of the books from the Secretary of State. They'll send you a copy of your articles. They should send you a copy of your articles. I don't know, some states, if you have articles of incorporation, articles of organization, all of the good articles. They'll send you all of that. They'll send you something that you have to sign, and it will state that this company is now dissolved and it is no longer on their books, it's no longer recorded within the state of where you are. That will then turn if somebody decides to go and use their business name. If you don't have it copywritten or trademark, then they can use it in the state and you now not liable for it. So you got three things. You can dissolve it, You can create it inactive, or you can just file it. Simple. So I hope, you guys say, hey, this is what I want to go do. And I don't want to get it off of me. Now, again, if they decide your name is pulled, they call you, you need documentation. Documentation, their transcript. Want to go get their transcript, let it balance out with their Schedule C and your regular 1040. That is how you can cover that. It schedules out with those things. Once you get that, here's my other thing. So I do taxes, but I also do bookkeeping and accounting. Now, I'm not a financial guru. I'm just a person. I make money. I make money fast. I make a lot of money. And I do it based off of, I've been doing this for so long. I've been fortunate to be in affluent circles. I've been fortunate to be trained by very wealthy individuals. And I grew up in a certain environment, if y'all catch my drift. And growing up in an environment, I learned how to make money. Money came to me. Money always comes to me. Money come to me so fast, and when it comes to me, I always have the mind state that I can spend it. I can spend it because I can make it. I know how to make it. I know what to do. Here's the thing that messed me up. When I had my business in 2016, I was making hand over fist money. I had a behavioral health agency, and I was getting paid through the insurance companies. I was getting paid great. I had over 150 clients, and I had about 50 contractors. I did this in my home state. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to because kin folks ain't kin folks, and kin folks, yeah, it did it like that. So I had a individual who was working with my finances and on my books, and this individual decided to fix my books. And when they were fixing my books, they were fixing it to their benefit, and I ended up losing out $456,000. Y'all, that tore me up. When I say that tore me up, I was young, but I was balling because I had learned how to use where I came from, my skills being trained in school, my skills being trained in a certain career field, and I was living young, new house, land, rental properties. I was making. And when I came to see how these individuals were rolling me and taking my money, and it created such a drastic loss to where I almost lost everything, I learned how to do bookkeeping and accounting. I was like, I never again allow anybody to steal from me and do me that way. It was a very expensive lesson, but nonetheless, I was like, oh, hell no. Hell no. So, bookkeeping, accounting, this long, you need financial documents. If you cannot pull up a financial statement, if you cannot pull up um, let's say you were utilizing one of the payroll systems. I always utilize payroll systems. Pay my children off of my payroll system, even when I pay my contractors, even when I pay my employees. I utilize that system because it pays all of my state taxes. Texas don't, but Louisiana has state taxes. It pays all of my taxes, and if anything ever comes back, I can show I paid this. Black and white paper trail gonna save you forever. So accounting and bookkeeping, you got this loan. You can't say what you did with it. You know what they can do? They can go look in your bank account. They can look at your bank account statements. However, if you were to have utilized this loan in a more definite way, then you would have been able to have a payroll system show this $20,000 was deposited, this 13 for whatever, however much amount you got. It was deposited into this account and it was utilized in this way, and then it was taxed. So this is the actual amount that this individual received. It was under my business. I actually have a legitimate business. So at that time, I was doing consult services. as I do now. And it was more so of me, my employees. It was legit. But going to you, accounting and bookkeeping, back to them documents. When you bring your paperwork to me and you can't bring me no documents to justify, I can't help you. I lived my life fast before, but at this stage, you need accounting documentation. You need bookkeeping. I don't care if you just have a very small business and it is you. You need bookkeeping and accounting. Black and white gonna always cover you. Just the same as those of you who got this loan and you went about a vacation, you went about some shoes, you went about clothes. Your bank statements gonna tell on you versus QuickBooks would have been able to verify you actually cycled this money through a system and you were able to show documentation of how you utilize these funds. It wouldn't have mattered if you paid yourself as a W 2. It don't matter. If you paid yourself as a W 2, that's your money. As long as it was circulated through, whatever you did with it was yours. I can't stop you from doing it. Bookkeeping and accounting and a payroll. I don't care if you have a small micro business. Bookkeeping and accounting gonna always cover you. Playing with fire and not having black and white paperwork, baby, y'all be looking for a opportunity to get in trouble. So I do bookkeeping, I do accounting. I will post links about me doing training if you want to learn how to do it. I'm so down to earth. I'm gonna teach you in the most simple form. I, I'm gonna teach y'all how I learned how to count money. I learned how to count money. I learned how to make money, and I learned how to So learning bookkeeping and learning accounting and knowing business, it's simple, but you have so many people who are afraid of financial literacy and they don't have that financial understanding that this is how you are actually supposed to cycle your money through your business. This is actually how you're supposed to keep financial statements. This is how you're actually supposed to have quarterly payments and just documentation as a whole. So I'm gonna definitely talk more about that. I'll be posting links. I'll be doing all of that good stuff. I'm just honestly over, I want to say thrilled because when I made that video, I never really intended for it to just go as viral as it did, but it has. But because it has, I need to talk to y'all like because and I need to tell you this is what you need to go do to cover your ass. Right? You need to see why what you need to do. You need to go and pull that transcript. You need to be able to go and see what was stated on that transcript. For that filing you need to see what you filed on your 1040. If you know you did not utilize some funds the way you were supposed to, talk to somebody and get them to look over it. What did you call it? A review. Get somebody to review it. Even if you message me, you need to review it. And if you need to amend it, then get it amended. Do your expenditures. That's what you need to do. Now, moving over into the BOIR, if you need to go, if you still have an LLC that's active with your Secretary of State, go to the BOIR thing, go do the filing. If you don't know how to do it, send me a message. I got you. I do it for you. I tell you, I ain't doing nothing for free. Everything. But when you go onto that website, they are going to ask you for your driver's license. You are going to have to upload your driver's license. If you say, I don't even want to go through that, I don't want them people getting in my business, I don't want them knowing nothing about me. If you have an actual LLC, go to the Secretary of State website, whatever your state is, dissolution of organization. It might say dissolve business, dissolve entity, something to that nature. Dissolve it and get it off the people books. Once you get it off the people books, go ahead and send a letter back to whether it's in Texas, like I mentioned, it's the comptrollers. Let them know, hey, this business is no longer active, it's no longer open, we have not made any income off of it, and no longer to send any tax quarterly, annually, no longer that you need to send it. Once you do that, make sure you keep all of your documents. If anything comes about, you have all of your documentation. Another thing that you can do, if you did utilize the funds actually correct or some semi-correct, go find the bank statements. What you find the bank statements, you can actually create a financial statement out of the bank statements if you actually did do it right. I'm just saying. So right now, I'm giving you cousin information, but if you want actual client information, then there's a link in my bio that you can get a consult with me, and we can actually get started on the things that I'm telling you and a little bit more in depth of what I would need to do in order to get you cleared or in line and in order. Okay. So hopefully that helped. I'll be doing more lives, and a lot of the lives are going to be based off of the questions that you guys ask me. If you are still not sure what to do, if you are still up in arms and like, wait, somebody got to get me right. Click the link in my bio. I'll be able to help you. I'll be able to get whatever you need done. Now, my only thing to that, if you did not have an EIN, I'm not touching you. I'm not. I'm not doing nobody work. I ain't coming back up behind nobody on no dirty work. You have to have a legitimate EIN. It has to have been established, I think around 2020 or sometime before. If you have a legitimate EIN, a tax identification number, then yes, I am able to help. If you do not, now here's if you have a sole proprietor and you don't have an EIN, but you actually have a legitimate business, then yes, I would be able to help you. However, if you know you got them funds and you just did you, don't inbox me. Don't inbox me because I ain't doing it with you. I ain't go. Mm-mm. That's why I leave the party. I ain't got time for it. So I just want you to know, if you actually had a legitimate business, if you actually was selling something, you actually was doing services, and you were a sole proprietor, but you say, hey, Sheridan, I didn't have an EIN. I was a legitimate business, though. Then yes, you being able to show me some type of documentation, some type of contract, some type of what I'm gonna say, if you can show me your QuickBooks, I am able to log into your QuickBooks. If you actually have a QuickBook account, I will be able to log in, take over, and be able to actually create financial documents for you. Same if you had an LLC. If you don't have it now, go get QuickBooks. If you want to learn how to get trained on QuickBooks, click my link in my bio and I can get you trained on QuickBooks. It's simple. It's really simple. It's simple to me. I I learn fast, and I've been doing this for so long. Everything is easy to me. Setting up a business is easy to me. Dissolving the business is easy to me. Switching entities, which means if you have an LLC, somebody told you about an S corp, you want to learn how I got you. If you want to start a nonprofit, you need to learn how to get that documentation, grant work. Your girl is like a one-stop shop. I've been doing this for so long to where it's a ease to me. So yeah, but going back to that, if you have all of that documentation and you can verify it with me, I can actually see your documents that the IRS send you for the EIN number. I can't think of the numbers. They have some specific number on it. I can't think right now. I can't work with you. So y'all have been quiet. I'm not listening. And I'll be doing more like I mentioned. So if you have questions, just inbox me. Just send me a message and say, hey, I seen the live or I caught a little bit of the live and I just want to know what was it or what do I need to do or what can you help me do. I will help you. I will let you all know my things on my things because your girl has a lot of experience and I know I'm going to get you right. I'm not, one of these influencers that's just gonna be telling you if I can't do it, I can't do it, and if I don't want to do it, I ain't gonna do it. I'm telling you straightforward, and if it don't look right, I'm gonna give it back to you. uh-uh. But if I know, hey, look, cousin, I got you. I can fix this. We can fix this. This is how we can work. I'm going to work with you, and I'm going to work well, very well. I love what I do. I love being of service. I love helping, and especially if you have questions. I do not mind answering them. I answer questions in my inbox all the time. You might get a, reply twice. But for the most part, if you have any other questions, I'll be able to give you, well, it's a link in my bio and you can schedule a consult. 15-minute consult. Ask me what you need to ask me. Sometimes we be getting so deep into the conversation, hell, it end up 30, 40 minutes. It just depends on what you are in need of and how I just can build service and help. So I hope I touched on a lot. I know I talked about other stuff, but get the transcripts, find the documentation, find your bank statements. If you don't want to file, you don't want to do that. Go to this software, not software. Go to this website, FinCEN, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. File this BOIR if you are going to keep your business active. Because come January 1st, 2025, the people gonna start sending y'all letters. And you just gotta think about it. How you know my address? Because it's on their books. They know. File it. If you don't want to do that, you like, I ain't got time for them people to be filing, calling me. I don't. Secretary of State website. Go to the Secretary of State website. Dissolution of organization or dissolve of entity, dissolve of or whatever it says. Go do. If you say I want to hold on to it, go and put it in inactive status. Once you put it in inactive status, contact your, like I said, Texas is comptroller. Contact your comptrollers. Let them know that this business is no longer active or it's inactive and it's not generating any revenue. Once you get that, keep your documents somewhere that you can have them. Black and white gonna always save you. I don't care what you say. Maybe the girl love black and white. Cause I pull receipts out in a minute. I will pull out some. I keep all documents. I will pull some documentation out, and you're not gonna play with me about documentation. I am queen of receipts. So I have answered enough. If you again have questions, inbox me and let me know. I'm gonna take my baby trick or treating, and I hope you guys have a great evening. Don't eat too much candy. Don't steal all them babies' candy. So yeah, I'll be doing more lives and I'll also be posting if you want to start your business, if you want to know how to make money in your business, you want to know why your business is not making money. I'll be posting more of those links for those courses or classes, trainings. I would say trainings. I hate the word courses. They be sounding like they be scamming. But anyway, I hope I did enough for you guys, and I hope you guys have a good evening. Happy Halloween. See y'all later. Bye, YouTube.